Good afternoon. If you're on the East Coast, good afternoon. I'm Andrea Rutledge. I'm President and CEO of CMAA, and I want to thank you for joining us for the online or virtual edition of the 2025 CMAA Annual Meeting of the Membership.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you and welcome everyone. As Andrea was mentioning, CMAA 25 will begin in just a few days at the Gaylord Opryland near Nashville, Tennessee. As usual, the annual meeting of the membership will be part of the Sunday general session. It is also convened here in a virtual format. This webinar is being recorded and will be available on the CMAA website. Who's with us today? Today I'm joined by Carol Holland, Michael Mendick, Khaled Naya, and Andrea Rutledge. On behalf of the CMAA Board of Directors, the annual meeting of the membership is convened. As your leaders, one of our core responsibilities is to be good stewards of the resources our members provide to CMAA. Let's begin with our finances and a report from Michael Mendick, PE, CCM, CMAA Treasurer. Michael?
Thank you, Luis. As your treasurer, it is my responsibility to share the latest information about CMAA's financial performance over the last 18 months. Let's begin with fiscal year 2024. As of December 31st, 2024, CMAA's total revenue for the year was $6.65 million. Expenses exceeded that number by 6% due to the Board of Directors' commitment to the chapters to host the 2024 Leader Summit and investments to implement our advocacy program. The fiscal year 24 audit is complete, and our tax returns will be filed this month. Next slide. All right. For fiscal year 2025, the board approved a budget that included additional personnel and more travel to industry conferences and chapter events. We also maintained support for the advocacy initiative, as well as investing in chapter leaders. Largely due to the continued growth of credentialing, we are forecasting successful financial performance for the fiscal year 2025. Finally, CMAA maintains both an operating reserve and a long-term reserve to respond to any significant developments. The combined reserves were at $3.256 million at the end of 2024. This is an increase of 18% from fiscal year 2023 due to cash contributions and market activity. The recent history of CMAA's reserves began in 2018 when the Board of Directors approved a reserve target of $2.53 million. It achieved it earlier than expected due to both growth in the markets and larger than expected net revenue during fiscal years 2020 through 2022. At the end of 2023, the board set a new target of $4.03 million to be reached by fiscal year 2026. We are well on our way to meeting that goal. That concludes the financial reports, and now I'll turn things back to Luis and Carol to share more about CMAA's accomplishments this year. Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about CMAA's achievements since last year's national conference. First, CMAA has more than 27,000 members, including individuals, professional service companies, and owners in the public and private sectors, as well as academic and associate members. CMAA has 33 regional chapters across the country. The three newest ones are CMAA South Carolina, CMAA Greater Austin, and CMAA Heartland chapter. Heartland is the first virtual chapter and serves 7 states. CMAA 2024 was the highest attended national conference in our history. Over 17,000 people hold a credential offered by CMCI. That includes over 7,000 people who have earned the Certified Construction Manager credential, another 8,000 plus CMITs, which has now been translated into Spanish. There are an additional 500 candidates pursuing the stackable credential and a growing group of 200 plus CACMs. We continue to significantly accelerate the production of CMAA guidelines and reports, releasing 5 publications in the last 12 months, with 3 this calendar year, plus the release of the owner's survey report. Also, in 2025, CM released new Spanish translations of the capstone, safety management guidelines, technology management guidelines, cost management guidelines, and standards of practice as part of making the body of knowledge accessible to more professionals. Next, the team has been adding new courses to the CMAA curriculum with the launch of advanced scheduling, negotiating success, deposition mitigation, and resilience in construction management. Carol?
So CMAA's strategic framework challenges the organization to become the voice of the program and construction management industry and a premier resource for professionals working in the built environment. In response, we have accelerated our development as an advocate for the profession and industry. CMAA's advocacy initiative launched in late 2023 under the leadership of the Government Advocacy Committee. CMAA's advocacy is rooted in indirect or grassroots advocacy. Our policy priorities are simple: the value of credentialed professionals, a new federal position classification for program and construction management professionals, preferences for credentialed professionals on federal programs and projects, and protecting qualifications-based selection for professional services.
Hundreds of advocates have taken action so far this year, sending nearly 800 messages to our legislators to advocate for the construction and program management industry. And advocates have held nearly 30 meetings with lawmakers this year alone. Thanks in part to our advocacy, the policies of the Freedom to Invest in Tomorrow's Workforce Act were signed into law over the summer. This is an incredible win for CMAA, as it will allow 529 savings funds to be used for credentials such as CCM and CACM. Thank you to those who advocated tirelessly with us to make this happen. If you haven't become an advocate, check out the CMAA Action Center. Once you sign in, you will receive regular updates, opportunities to contact lawmakers, and ways you can make a difference for our industry. If you are attending CMAA 2025, you can sign up and take action while you are there. Visit with the CMAA staff in the information booth.
Also, during the framework's development, the board identified expanding CMAA's activity internationally as a potential tactic for achieving outcomes related to project success and shaping the profession. International engagement by US-based associations requires significant strategic thought, planning, and early assessment. The work of a 2023 task force and a 2024 working group produced a work plan for international engagement that advances the objectives in the strategic framework. Foremost among those activities is the CMAA International Roundtable. The roundtable will be held in Nashville on Monday, October 20th. We are thrilled to welcome our international guests from Iceland, Korea, Japan, Mexico, the EU, and the UK. We're honored to have them join us at CMAA 2025. Their presence enriches our event, and we look forward to the global perspectives you'll bring to our discussions. In addition, the committee has endorsed the creation of a global credential that will recognize an individual's readiness to lead programs and projects in a global context. This new credential is in the earliest stages of development. We expect to have it ready for launch in 2027. In the meantime, CMAA will offer the PCM course in Mexico next month. This work is complemented by bilateral meetings between CMAA and PMCM professionals in Korea and Iceland.
And those are just the highlights. This year saw another important publication that describes the roles and responsibilities of the PMCM professionals across delivery methods. This publication enabled us to have conversations with owners, federal legislators, colleagues, and other stakeholders about the role program and construction management professionals can play on any and every project. And we continue to invest in the success of chapters through the Leadership Summit and the implementation of a chapter management platform through streamlined operations. At CMAA 2025, you'll hear even more from the CMCI Board of Governors and the CMAA Foundation. All of this would not be possible without the generous contributions of time and talent from over 400 members who volunteered throughout the organization, whether leading national committees or chapter boards, contributing to validation of conferences for new publications, authoring articles for MCX, or creating items for CMCI exams. Let's give ourselves a round of applause.
Under the terms of CMAA bylaws, the immediate past chair of CMAA's board of directors leads the nominating committee. This year, that responsibility fell to Khalid Naja, PE, CCM, who will report the progress of this year's elections. Khalid?
Thank you, Carol. The online ballot closed this morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. This year's nominating committee identified the following candidates for directors and officers. They are, for an initial 3-year term on the CMAA Board of Directors, Juan Alfonso, AIA CCM with CES Consultants, Thomas Lyon, PE CCM with DFW International Airport, and Adam Wakowiak, PE CCM with Michael Baker International. For a second 3-year term on the CMAA Board of Directors, Ann Cotter, CCM with Cotter Consulting, Coretta Sweet, CCM with Jacobs, Don Young, PE CCM with MVP, and Dave Wisman, CCM with Development Facilitators. The ballot also included candidates for officers for 2026. They are Chair, Carol Holland, PE CCM, Chair-elect, Michael Mendek, PE CCM, Treasurer, Dave Wisman, CCM, Secretary, Don Young, PE CCM, and Vice Chairs, Katie Cho, CCM, and Carol Lenz, PE CCM. These are the people who have agreed to serve as your board of directors for the coming year. Please join me in thanking them for sharing their time and talent with CMAA. Finally, the ballot for the Foundation Board of Directors also closed today. There are 2 new directors serving an initial 3-year term on the CMAA Foundation Board. They are Timothy Mason, CCM with STV, and Agnes Weber, PE CCM, FCMAA with GFT. Thank you to everyone who has agreed to serve.
All righty. Well, Luis, I'll turn it back to you to close out the meeting.
Thank you, Andrea. So on behalf of the CMAA staff and board of directors, thank you for your support. The annual meeting of the membership is concluded. Thank you.